Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, and streaming everywhere: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live. I was going to say Monster, Amazon. Let's see. Boy, it's Monday. Podchaser, JioSaavn, Rumble, and more. I am Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated host. And we are celebrating 566 consecutive weeks on the air. And we're getting close to show 900. I believe we are 893 this morning. And I'm so delighted that those people who said a show about hope and happiness are wrong, that it would not last. And I'm so glad. I am just continuing to expand. We have still have regular fabulous guests. If you missed the Waltons or the who else to be Lucio Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter, Lucy Arnaz. We're having Dee Wallace, the mom from E.T., coming up again. She's been on the show several times. Just like a plethora of super interesting movie, film, and then notable people who do notable things. And you just saw Akuyo Graham here celebrating the launch of Women's History Month. She just did some more work with Kim Kardashian. Go to Spirit Awakening on social media and you'll see Kim in none of her normal makeup, well, all that stuff. She's doing great things. So it's funny because I used to say for the show, no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kardashian talk at all. I am now officially changing it to no K words, no Kanye talk, because Kim Kardashian is actually doing some great things. And she's been visiting prisons and all of that. So I will not take it as an insult anymore when I get mistaken. When I have my Prada sunglasses, those big sunglasses on, I inevitably will get someone to asking me if I'm the Kardashian mom, which is kind of funny. But anyways, that is what is going on. We have special series now. If you haven't tuned in lately, tomorrow we have Beth Linder Moss. She is a celebrity, well-known. She's got millions in her TikTok and Instagram. She's a fitness expert. That series is called Step Up Into Your Best Life. And she joins me every first and third Tuesday. We've got on Thursday, Straight Talk with Sam Works. That is every Thursday. We talk about relationships, romance, sex, orgasms, all that kind of fun stuff. And then Friday is Tempting Conversations with Alon Carter, who is my BFF, new BFF. She is the daughter of Otis Williams, the founder of The Temptations, still going strong, still performing, and an amazing guy, and mother to Chase Austin, my favorite musical artist right now, aspiring and getting onto stages everywhere. So that is in a nutshell. Oh, and then my co-host, Yorona Boster, who you may have missed that. It was, if you've lost anyone, they're really not lost, but that process of grief, if you want to go see that on my YouTube channels, free subscribe, go and look for Dr. Marissa and Yorona Boster. She's on every last Wednesday of the month. If you would like to co-host with me, or if you'd like to be a guest and promote your book or service or whatever, just go to drmarissa.life and I'll be happy to chat with you, and you can find out if you can be a guest on this show. And as always, I never can thank all those who support me, all the guys at KCAA out of, I think we're Redlands. Yeah, in Redlands, from the station owner who's actually out of Texas, Fred Lundgren, his son Mike Lundgren, who does work backstage, and then Linda Lundgren, who is the power behind Fred, my station manager, Mark Westwood, and then all the guys in the studio, my sound engineer now full-time, Polly, who is, I can't do this show without him, especially when I go to Toronto tomorrow. My mom's in palliative care. I think I explained that to you before. And so every quarter I go back and try to help out. And so I'll be broadcasting from Toronto. No worries. We have great guests coming up. You might remember the granddaughter of Adolf Hitler's lawyer who was sentenced to death in the Nuremberg trials. She's coming back. She has a new book out. And if you missed that show, and she was talking to the granddaughter of Auschwitz survivors, and she is the director of the Museum of the Holocaust, I believe, in Beverly Hills, not the Museum of Tolerance, but the other one. And that was a great show. And thank you for those who said you need to get as a Emmy, considered for an Emmy nomination for that show. So thank you for the heart there just now from someone. Let's see who's commenting right now. Lucimar Alves dos Santos Lucia. Wow, that's a mouthful. Thank you so much for giving me that heart. And if you'd like to chat along with me, I am available on LinkedIn, Facebook, and then Central House for Dr. Marissa, which is YouTube channel. And all the guys, I didn't forget, all the other guys at the station, Miguel and Joe and Rick. Did I forget anybody, Polly? I think I got it, but thanks so much for all the support that you give me. All right, and now down to business on Mondays, special series. Not every Monday, but a lot of Mondays. What I'd like to do is help up-level somebody's happiness. So it's a free coaching, a free happiness coaching session that I get to do. I don't know what their question's going to be. And I was just telling Polly, I love doing this because I get to be present and sort of listen for the words from a friendly universe to try to help whoever is calling in. And I'm so delighted that I have Priyanka with me today. Please welcome to the studio, Priyanka. And
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Marissa. It's such an honor to be on your show. Thank you.
Oh, it's an honor to have you. And let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask you to put your feet on the ground and gently close your eyes. And you're going to put your palms up on your lap so you're in a connected, open stance. And I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And releasing, soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Good. That is activating the physical and connecting it with your breath, which is chi, eternal energy. Take another breath in, same way, up in the nose. And releasing all the stories and the drama. And that is activating the mind. And then the third breath in the 3-breath technology. In through the nose and releasing, this time connecting with me through chi, eternal energy. This is the spiritual 3rd level connection. And you might feel your fingers begin to tingle. I know that I did, activating that connection between you and me that goes beyond the physical limitations of space and time. I am now connected to you energetically. Do you feel anything tingling?
I do. I feel
oh, cool. It's kind of do, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah, me too. All right. And now on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd like you to rate how happy you are in a couple of categories. So the first one is your health and wellness. What is the number that you would give yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being fabulous, 1 being meh.
10.
10. Awesome.
Yeah.
And on the level, on job and career is the second indices. Same scale. What would you give that?
9.
9. All right. And the last one for this is relationships. And it can be intimate relationships, it can be family or friend. On a scale of 1 to 10, pick the lowest number or pick the relationship that has the lowest number.
I'm going to think about that for a moment. I would have to say 9.
Okay. So
I'm going to be a hard one for you today.
Yes, I see that. All right. And take a deep breath in.
Yeah.
And release. And open your eyes.
Yes.
All right. So technically, I'm going to let you go because there's really my goal is 8. When people are at an 8, I don't expect them to be at a 10 because that means they're dead. Because if you're happy all of the time, then you're dead. We actually cannot technically be happy all the time. So 8 is what I go for. So you're above what my goal is. So it would not make for good show if I let you go now. So I'm going to ask you, is there anything that you have ever desired for or wanted and you gave up that desire, and or is there a question then for me on anything on what you would want me to help you with? Because if there's nothing, then I got to let you go.
No, I am not going to let you let me go. I am holding on to this opportunity.
Okay.
I am so excited to speak with you. And I think the way that I view my life and my life experiences is that things are constantly getting better for me. So, as the law of attraction states, we can be content, but always eager for more, right?
Yep.
So I find myself happy with most things, but of course, there's that next level elevation that I'm wanting, and that is what I'm excited that you might be able to help me with.
Perfect. Okay, good. Don't have to let you go.
Yes.
All right. So, go ahead and actually, let's, but before we talk about that, whatever that is, usually I do start with breakfast with my guests, usually with taking a bite of our gratitude sandwich. And that's an exercise I do every morning on most shows. Now, I didn't do it this morning with you because that's one of the tools that I use to raise levels of happiness. So before we get into speaking to, because you are a student of the law of attraction like I am, one of the ways in which to speak to those things that you want is to come from that place of high vibration. And taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich is one of the easiest ways to get us to that level. So before we talk about what it is, then let's go ahead and launch us up to that level first. Not saying you're not there now, but I want to use it as a Happy 88 tool, teaching tool for anybody that's listening in now or later. All right. So we're going to have breakfast. And what that is 8 specific things that you're grateful for that are outside of you. And then 8 specific things that you appreciate about yourself that we can build on. And that will help me with that desire piece. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. I am grateful that I am a good pivoter. So that's an appreciation. Going back to gratitude outside myself, I am grateful that I get to play in two Mahjong tournaments this last weekend. And I do love playing a game that's from my Chinese roots. That's two. What are two things that you're grateful for? And it doesn't have to be long.
Okay. I am grateful for my beautiful kitty, Miss Kitty, who is always so gracious and kind and loving. I am grateful for the groceries that I just bought the other day. I have some delicious recipes I'll be making this week, and I'm so excited for them.
Great. I am grateful that the sun is out today. I know we need the rain, but I'm solar powered. And so I always love seeing the sun.
I am grateful for the cool air. I know spring is upon us, but I love staying nice and cool and cozy indoor with a blanket and a sweater.
Oh, great. And then I am grateful that I get to fly tomorrow back to Toronto, where I was actually born in Canada. And I love airplanes. I love driving trains, planes, and automobiles, my top three. But there's something about the magic of flight that it never gets old to me, that I just love that feeling taking off and landing. And it's like a miracle that we fly like birds, I think.
Yes, I love that too. I love the whole experience of the airport. So excited for you.
Thank you.
I
And
am great.
go
Yes.
ahead.
No, no, go
Last
ahead.
one. Last one.
Okay, last one. All right. I am grateful for this view. I'm looking out of my window and I see my beautiful enchanted forest next to my house. So peaceful and serene and always puts me in a good mood.
Fabulous. Bottom of the bun, things that you like about yourself. For the average person, you are not the average person because you are a student of the law of attraction. The average person that comes to me for coaching has a critic inside of them that beats them up no matter what they say or do, no matter what they accomplish. And it's a collection of voices, usually your biggest critic in your past, plus anything that you've been criticized for since. And it is a surefire way to not be happy if you are letting that critic drive your car. So to balance out the critic is and to integrate oneself, it's called the balance centered self. And we all have one, but they're not necessarily strong enough to put the critic in its place, which is in the passenger seat. So I use the bottom of the bun as a way to weight train your balance centered self, so you're not always looking for love in the wrong places. Who likes me literally. And instead, you know who you are at the core of who you are, that you're one of a kind, wonderful. So that's why we do the bottom of the bun. That's why we're going to do 4 each of what we like about ourselves. So I appreciate that I learn quickly. It's really good when you're a consultant and you say, I can do that. Now, what was it you wanted? Because I know I can go and learn things very quickly. So I like that about myself. What do
I
you
love
like about
that.
yourself?
So I appreciate my intelligence and creativity. I love finding solutions and coming up with creative opportunities. So I
Oh,
really appreciate that.
okay, that's 3.
Oh,
So
is it?
I'll catch up. Uh-huh. I appreciate that I am a really good winner. I love to win. And I think that's why I love to play games. It's the anticipation of winning.
Ooh, that
And
is a good one.
and then I love to be creative in my dress. I love finding, cool clothing. Last one for you.
Yes, I love that too. And I love the blazer that you're wearing right now.
Thank
um,
you. I got this at the Conscious Life Expo like years ago.
oh,
So,
did you? Wow,
last
very
one.
beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
I love my passion. I'm very passionate about a lot of things, and it makes life fun.
Beautiful. All right. So that is having breakfast. Thanks for having breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Priyanka. And the happy, balanced life challenges. Do this for 30 consecutive days. And I promise you, if you have the top and the bottom of the bun in action, top of the bun's in the morning, bottom of the bun, we just role modeled for what you do before you go to bed, then you're going to have amazing days. All right. And I do have people who have messaged. The last one was Carol, who said it absolutely works. So thank you for trying it and benefiting from this exercise. All right, here we go. Priyanka, take it away. What is your next level desire?
Yes, so I ended the year last year kind of with a challenge.
Okay.
I up and left my corporate job, and I decided to pursue my business, my passion full time. And I also kind of just threw everything in my toolkit at my life. So I kind of came up with this 30-day challenge, what I would do my morning uh, spiritual practice, my evening spiritual practice. I was like really on top of my game. And I gave myself the idea of a 30-day challenge to kind of take the pressure off of needing anything to happen, to just kind of have fun with it. So 30 days has turned into what, I don't know, like maybe 90 days now. And the growth that I've seen in myself in the last 90 days has far surpassed probably the last 9 years of my life.
Mm.
And so, as I am discovering these new mindsets and these new beliefs and practicing these tools, I find myself wanting to just continue and take this to the next level. So, my question for you would be, when you're already in a good place of growth and happiness and contentment, um, keeping myself from plateauing and continuing to make that leap to the next level.
Okay, so let me see if I get this. You left your corporate job of how many years?
About the last 9 years, 9 years.
Last 9 years. Okay. And this new thing that you're doing, are you doing it, or you're not doing anything right now and just focusing on how you're feeling inside and all of that? Is there any action at all?
Yeah, so I'm doing both. I am probably spending about 50% of my time taking care of how I feel, and the other 50% doing business stuff.
Okay. And are you making enough money energy to support what your desired lifestyle? Or are you
So,
using savings?
yes, I have savings that are keeping me comfortable. And yes, to answer your question, that's it.
Okay. And is that sustainable? Like, are you depleting more than you are making?
So, yes, but I I have a certain thing with the business done, then I will be able to generate the income. I'm working on a website right now that would be the place where my income would be coming from. So as I'm building that, once it launches, I don't have any doubts that that will balance out.
Okay. And so the business that you are going to be doing, is it something that you have had some fun exploring, looking at, doing some like dream work on, what it looks like, what it's going to look like?
Yes, absolutely. So I would say for the last 3 years, I pretty much planned this business inside and out. I have a huge notebook with all of the plans for everything that I'm now living today. So definitely a lot of time to dream and get this um, imagination and visualization going for it.
Okay. So, tell me what that looks like.
So the business itself, or just the
Yeah. Tell me what the business looks like.
My business is a dance and entertainment business that has a bit of e-commerce with it. So we're looking at like an online dance studio. I have some merchandise that's coming out. I'm working on an album. So it's an all encompassing entertainment offerings that will also have some products and services for sale.
Okay. And a person that comes to you, what is the outcome? What is the value add that they're going to walk away with?
So, one of the things that is the priority for my business and just myself as a entrepreneur or a person is that dance is for everyone. Whether you are a dancer yourself or whether you are even interested in learning how to dance, dance communicates emotions, it tells a story. And so the intention with this here is to offer people an opportunity to, number one, tell their story, or to hear the stories of other people who look like them.
Okay. And when you say look like them, are you talking about diversity?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The business is based completely on diversity.
Okay. So one of the value adds is, or one of the contributions is, the business allows for dance to be open to people who traditionally maybe don't have access to that.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And where's it going to be located? Is it just online, or is it going to be, there's a physical studio?
No, so the offerings, for the most part, will be online.
Okay. And what can I ask what you did in your corporate job?
Sure. So I worked in the finance industry in a variety of capacities, accounting, loans. I've worked with grants. So I've kind of done it all. And I have a business background. So this is like merging the best of both worlds for me, business and my passion for dance.
Great. So what didn't you like about the corporate world?
I am just too headstrong and too much of an individual to really feel happy with not being in control of my own day or not being in control of my own contribution. I, since childhood, have been very opinionated, very independent, and I love creating my own path. And so I figured if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to give it my best shot. So here I am.
Got it. And does that spill over into relationships as well?
Uh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I don't think so.
So do you have an intimate relationship?
I am single right now, but courting.
Okay. And do you have desires in that area as well?
Oh, absolutely. I love partnership and support. And so, with me being such a creative and free spirited person, I really do value having grounded, stable, consistent support in that area. So that is definitely something that I am attracting into my life.
Great. And do you want children?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm guessing you're like late 20s, early 30s.
Yes. My
Okay.
birthday is coming up in a week. I'll be 29.
Oh, that's right. We were originally going to do the show on your birthday. Thank you for being
Yes.
flexible. But happy birthday ahead of time. Happy
Thank you.
birthday, dear Priyanka. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to do that on the when it was your birthday, but
Oh,
we'll just pretend that it is your birthday early now.
yes.
All right. So you know, I the only thing that I really can say is I support and applaud what you are doing, because one of the things that when people say I quit my job and I'm doing full time my passion, and when people come to me with that, they usually are not from a business background. And one of the things that I help with is when you throw the baby out with the bathwater, people get susceptible to others who come and say, I can do this for you, or I can do that for you, because they don't have that business background, and they don't look at profit loss necessarily. They don't look at budget. They don't look at the key activities that need to get to the value add. They don't look at, you know, timing and doing a competitive analysis and all of that. Now, let me just say, as a law of attraction student as well, there's a balance, because you can't control everything, you can't know everything. And I say that I'm a farmer. When people ask me what I do, I plant seeds, and my job is to plant the seed, which is the desire, and be really open in that place where I can hear inspired direction on what to do. And you already know that is like the crux, or one of the pillars of the law of attraction, to clear up the misunderstanding in the law of attraction. Unfortunately, one of the things that happened with The Secret was that people think the law of attraction is you sit under a bodhi tree meditating, using a vision board to then materialize a car in your garage or a house on your lot, which is kind of missing the whole point of the joy of the journey of inspired action to get to where you want to go, but having such joy on the way to where you're going. So you already seem like you've got that number and you are doing that. So that would have been one of my usual inputs into how to move from something you don't like to do or don't want to do, going into something you do like to do. And that is to make sure that you are not one. I usually advise people not to quit 100% and just to go to part-time, do some consulting, so they still have expertise in that area that they can use to generate the money energy in order to fuel all the things that they want to do. So I would say that's my only thing is, well, actually there's two. That's one. So I would, if something comes up and someone says to you, I need help in an area that you had expertise in your other job, in your 9-year job, is to be able to leverage that skill to generate some, additional money energy. So that would be one thing, to be open to that. Sometimes when people don't like where they came from, they, as I said, throw the baby out with the bathwater. And if you've just tuned in and you're wondering why I'm talking to someone who's not necessarily on screen, I always offer the option of being off camera. We are doing life balance coaching. I am Dr. Marissa. We do have a volunteer today who is here asking me questions on, am I doing everything that I should be doing? Am I doing everything that I would do necessarily in moving to something new? And that is the topic for today. You are listening to KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. If you'd like to actually, my bad, I wasn't looking over here. There's a comment. Okay. Interesting. So I didn't put this up before, 29, and then someone is saying, wow, 29, I'll be 52 in 4 days. It's just a number, time is an illusion. So I'm not quite sure what they're referring to, but thank you for being here. And you are welcome to comment, ask questions as I'm doing the coaching with Priyanka. And we're talking about moving from something that you were aware that there was not a good job person fit for you, and moved into something that there is. And I just want to highlight that as well, that she did a great job of doing an assessment of job person fit. And when people want to leave their job, I'm always ask them, what are the requirements of the job and the roles and the responsibilities? What do you know your key strengths and not so strong things are? And is there a fit? So you've already done that and you were aware of that. And then the comment I would make about that particular thing, you're strong, you're controlling, you're a recovering control freak. And I say that because I am the same way. That also, there's always that flip side. So part of your ability to be successful in this business is also the ability to have the ability to flow, which I think is the counterpart to control. So when to hold and when to fold, when to make it happen and when to allow it to happen. That would be because you are aware of that side of you, to ask the friendly universe always to guide in that growing expansion in that way. So I'll just use myself as an example. I am admittedly and happily strong and independent, and kind of happy with that. So I'm not in a relationship, and people ask me all the time, why am I? And I when I have not yet come to that place where I, like you mentioned, see the value necessarily, that at this point in my life, I'm close, but I know that for me, my satisfaction comes from that ability to be independent in my decisions. Let's just put it that way. So it sounds like you have that balance already, and you know what you want there and when to hold and when to fold. I would just ask you to see if there's value in the times that you are not that way. So was there anything that you learned and can take with you of those 9 years that maybe you would have, I don't want to say learned from, because it implies that you did something wrong. And we all know, as students of law of attraction, you're never wrong, and you're never going to get it done, and you're never going to get it wrong. But is there something that was expanding for you in those 9 years when you went out, besides the fact that you want to be in charge?
Yes, I learned a lot about working with people. I worked in the industry where I worked, there was a lot of public service, so serving the public, which was one of the things I enjoyed the most about my time. So working with people, serving the public, and also just with the contrast, developing an inner strength and an inner sense of reliability. So wonderful lessons that I am excited to apply now for something that is meaningful for me.
Beautiful. In working on the website, in working on any of those aspects of business, what would you say has been the most challenging part of it?
Oh my goodness. So I, well, first of all, I've learned how much I actually do know. I've been doing things that I hadn't thought about as a skill set of mine that I've learned now that I do actually have this skill. And it's just been the amount of work that needs to be done. And so it's so interesting that we were talking about this. It's making me think about my realization recently that I am open to help. I am open to having people come in and help me with this because the vision that I have is a lot bigger than me wearing all the hats. So being open to support, being open to help is something that I am feeling very called to right now.
Great. So that is a great point of clarification, because a lot of people have lost their life savings in being swayed towards people who say you need to have this, you should be doing this, and this is the way to do that. And if you give me 10,000, 15,000, 50,000, I can do this for you. And in the age of technology with YouTube, and I love YouTube, it's my house, and I don't know how to do certain things. There's a balance between what I don't know and what someone can help me with. So my inner work that you've already done, which you just pointed out, is you do know more than you think you do. So if you're listening and you're starting a new business, before I don't know how many times now I've almost forked out like 10, 15, $25,000 to people, thinking and being influenced by their advertisements. So this is an interesting thing that is happening right now across the board with everyone
Yes.
on, right? And like I'll see people doing, people in my field or people who I know doing these ads, and the click here and do this. Or I have people coming to me saying, if you partner with this person, your numbers are going to go up and blah, blah, blah. And you need bigger numbers because you're better than what your numbers show and all this. And boy, you can get really lost in that jungle of um, false. I'll definitely say it's false. False BS, false bullshit-talky, false belief systems that are they're kind of scary. And not that I'm in fear at all. Fear stands for future events already ruined. But what I have realized in listening to Esther and Abraham Hicks is clarity. Clarity versus confusion. So if I'm focused on clarity, then anything that I have a disjointed feeling about, I know that that is saying that is not clear. And when then that is not clear, I don't make a decision on it. I don't act on it. I don't talk about it, and I sleep on it. I hit save draft. And then I ask the universe, please, clarity. And inevitably, something will happen that is just like, what? Or I call them what cots. What are the chances of that brings crystal clear clarity on it? And I think that is something maybe I can offer, that when you have an impulse for inspired action, you do the action, and then something comes in front of you, but there's that, and there is a number attached to it. So then it is that, is that something that is, is this clear? Is this crystal clear? Is this, is this one person's? And always have Google as your friend. There, almost everything that comes at me, I will put first. What's the word I use? I say a potential scam, or potential loss, or something, and then whatever that is, right? What's the upside downside of whatever it is, and then I can see the business history of that person or that help. So I'm saying this because you are saying you are now open to having help, which is good, right? And at the same time, it's not caution, it's wisdom, it's clarity. It is, isn't it great when you work with someone and there is that aligned, nobody feels like they're being taken advantage, nobody feels like they're not getting what they want, nobody feels like they are wasting money or wasting time. That's the kind of melding in working with people. And if you're not feeling that way, then it is likely that partnership is not the clear, aligned thing that you want. Now, let me do one caveat on that. When I'm an organizational psychologist and I get to do work with companies, and I go in, and usually the first phase is, the forming phase, and they just love me because they haven't heard these things before, and they haven't, these are all concepts that make sense to them, and it's really aligned. And then the next one is storming. And when you're working with people, even individually, there's going to be human normal dynamics of contrast, of conflict, of disagreement. And sometimes we think that means it's over, or it's a time to break apart. And it is my work too, because I don't like conflict. I taught a course in conflict management at the Anderson Graduate School of Management at UCLA because that's my field. But I personally don't like conflict. But I know that the normal thing, and I'm working on a project right now, and there's conflict, and that the part of me that wants to leave, the part of me that wants to say, well, this just, or is afraid that I'm not doing something right, or that I want people to love me. I don't like when people question my motives or all of that. I have to remember to, one, trust the process, and two, that's when I hunker down and know who I am. And so that would be what I would offer you as you begin to partner with people. And when you hunker down, that contrast area is now one in which you can grow with, and or ask, is this a sign that when to hold and when to fold? Is it a time for departure, or is it a time to own, especially as strong women? I think this is one for me where I don't want to say, I'm sorry that what our interaction led to you feeling this way. For me to own that is not always easy. For me to say, this might be, what's my side of the street in that. And so since you have said that you are strong and independent and don't like being bossed around or supervised in your last job, I would offer that to you, that there is that point of how do I take what is given to me? So I'll do this really quick thing on feedback. So we are always given feedback by people that we interact with. And it is when someone says to me, "Can I give you some feedback?" And I say, "Okay, but will you try not to get it all over me?" Please try not to spill it all over me. And first of all, checking in with you. Is this helpful?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
good. Good. So when people say there's two extremes. What you think of me is none of my business, which is one of the things that I teach as, the law of attraction. And it is really an important one, because anyone that comes from a codependent background, you're always looking for feedback, and you can't even feel good unless you're getting positive feedback. And you can't soothe yourself. You can't, appreciate yourself, because you're always fixated, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, fixated on how am I doing, right? How am I doing? And if someone doesn't say you're doing a great job, you're not doing a great job. And that is also BS, a belief system that's going to keep you from being happy and successful, because it's all about what other people think of you. That's the extreme that we're talking about, that it is probably good for you to go to the other extreme, which is what you think of me is none of my business. And who cares what you think? But that's also a dangerous extreme if you're working with people, because when you're working with people, there is a level of need to balance out. Thank you. This is Fly is saying, good one about the feedback. Thank you for that thumbs, giving me the finger. He gave me a thumbs up on that one and a peace sign. Thank you. Our private chat, we're 3 minutes. Shoot. So I say that if you have three people, I do the law of three. If three people say the same thing, three people say the same things, that's 3 times. That's something that you might want to use to expand yourself so that you are more effective with a larger group of people. If it's one person and that person's always critical and they're giving you feedback, you don't need to attend to that. So hopefully that's helpful in allowing you to know, as you grow into this next part in partnership and admitting that you can't do everything, to know when to hold and when to fold. And that is it from me. Priyanka,
Yes.
was that helpful?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Marissa. And I'm going to really take that part about hunkering down and being myself, even in those uncomfortable moments. I think that's going to be a key for me. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. I call that a keeper. I didn't have to ask
Yes.
you what your keeper was. That's the one thing that you're going to keep from this conversation. If you've never asked for feedback and you want to be more effective with a larger group of people, then that is an exercise that I also do. If you're a person who has flown solo for a long time and basically had your read between the lines kind of an attitude with people, you might want to balance it out a bit and ask, how can I be more effective with you? Because it is a wonderful way to move and groove and get the joy that comes from working with other people. But remember, the name of my show is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Thanks so much, Priyanka, for being my victim volunteer. If you'd like to have a free coaching session, please do go to drmarissa.life. Tomorrow's show will be an exciting one. I'm going to be doing it before I fly. But remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.